got a fireworks display here, and someone has just come in, parachuting in and bringing the first ball. Boy, that's a unique way. They just came in from the sky with the ball to be used for the here at San Diego. You're absolutely right. There are a lot of people still coming in. Not too big. We should have a pretty good crowd. Good night, Darrell Cheney. I know that everybody's got in particular a thrill for Rick Mailer.
Well, we chatted Rick a little bit with him before the ball game, and let's just listen to what he had to say.
Okay, Rick Mailer on tape.
Mailer, you get the opening night tonight after a fine season last year. Usual circumstances with an injury to Phil Niekro. What are your thoughts about being the opening night pitcher?
Well, I'm really excited about it. You're always excited about starting the season, and when you're in the game, it means the way it came about. I'm sorry about that. It's not any way I could have helped that. I wish Phil was out here more than anybody else, but the way it turns out, I'm pitching and do the best I can.
Try to explain to the fans just what happened when you hit Phil. He was pitching batting practice to spring training, correct?
I was starting a spring training game, and he was throwing batting practice his day to throw, and I hit a line drive and hit him in the rib.
Had a brother, Mickey Mailer, made it with the California Angels this year. Have you talked to Mickey recently, and is he a starter, long man, or what's it look like for the former Brave?
He'll be in the bullpen right now. He called me, told me he made him, and wished me luck today. And he's going to be in the bullpen right now, and who knows what can happen. I did to me last year.
Rick, I imagine Phil's listening back in Atlanta, and of course he's probably down in the dumps. Anything you'd like to say to him?
I just want to wish him a speedy recovery. I just hope everything works out back in uniform in a hurry.
Okay, that's Rick Mailer, our starter tonight. Now back to Skip here at the Omni.
Okay, Ernie, thank you. I got a question for you guys. First of all, I noticed you did that Rick Mailer, though he feels badly about nailing Niekro with that line drive, had to mention that he hit a line drive because that happened too often for him. And I have a chance to see the ball club yet. And Darrell, are they as good as in spring training? I certainly hope so.
Well, I think they are. I really do. And everything fell into place. The attitude has really picked up a different atmosphere than when the season ended last year. And I think that if they get out to the division, so watch out for them.
Okay, baseball right around the corner. We'll be back to these messages. 92 season against the San Diego Padres. Well, we talked about Mailer a little bit. You might want to go over him, but who's pitching for San Diego?
Well, the Padres are going to throw Juan Eichelberger. He had a real good year for him last year. He was 8-8, which doesn't sound good, but he pitched a lot better than that, especially against the Braves. He was 2-0 against the Braves with an ERA around 2.5. So, he's looking forward to it. He's all pumped up about it. Been reading about him here in the papers, and he's really. And of course, Rick pitched for the Braves, and in the spring he had an ERA around 5.6 and gave up more hits than innings pitched. And I think it's important for a Mailer in order for this ball to contend to win at least 12 games or so. So it's a good tonight.
Okay, you can be in this business all your life. Thing special about open. And we open hours. All right. Okay, back starting lineup right after this.
Glenn Hubbard bats second. He plays second base. Claudell Washington in right field will hit third. And hitting cleanup, Captain Bob Horner. He'll play third base. Dale Murphy is in left field. He'll bat fifth. Chris Chambliss at first base will hit sixth. Bruce Benedict will catch and hit seventh. Rafael Ramirez, the shortstop, hit eighth. And Ricky Mailer will pitch and he'll bat ninth. This telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta Braves and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves and the Turner Broadcasting System is prohibited. The announcers for this event are employed by the Turner Broadcasting System.
Gene Richards leads it on. 288 last year, 3 homers, 42 RBIs. Stole 20 bases. He can run. Let's check his spring training record. He batted .324, so he had a good spring. Their record for spring training was 15-8. The Braves were 18-7. Outfield playing Richards slightly toward left. Horner shallow at third. Rick Mailer with the first pitch.
A lot of offense are interested in this fellow over the winter.
The Braves from time to time have been interested in him. Good player. He's from back southeast, too. South Carolina, I believe. Pitch inside. 1 ball and strike. Slow curve, missed. Richards way up on that bat. Could hit it with either end almost. Resides in Blair, South Carolina. Born in Monticello. Little pop along the line. Murphy's going to have to hurry. It's foul. He just missed it up. Although if it was fair, Murphy might have had a shot at that ball. Bonita to follow, then Gary Templeton.
Looked like Murph might have Might have gotten a slow jump on that ball. They did work out into the lights here last night to get used to them, but it takes a little while. The workout last night only lasted an hour.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Taylor's 28 years old. That's a fastball and a strikeout. Boy, you can see that fastball go away from Richards.
Hitting second.
Bernie, you've pitched before. This is a major league pitcher. Right on the outside, black at the knees.
Juan Bonilla. 290 batting average last season. 1 homer, 25 RBIs. Hit 276 during spring training. They have their training in Arizona. Templeton on deck. Pop foul out of play. I'll be with you tomorrow at 4:05 Eastern Time as Bob Watt gets the ball from Joe Torre. Thursday's an off day, and it's opening night, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, Friday night against Houston. Tickets are going well. Still plenty of good seats available, however. They expect a nice crowd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wonder if they've ever called Mailer Abe. Looks a little like Abe Lincoln once in a while. 0-1. Here's a let-up curveball. 1-2.
He looks like one of the guys in the cough drop box to me. Smith brothers there.
We're in the bottom of the first. There's no score if you just tuned us in. Signed by Benedict. Bonilla is shaded to right. Slow curve. Boy, are they happy in Minnesota that they have a dome stadium. I believe it was 18 degrees outside. They're playing inside. Seattle 3, Minnesota 1 after 3. Bannister against Redfern. They played an exhibition game up there against the Phillies. Over 20,000 showed up. They wouldn't have if they played outdoors because it was about 18 degrees that day. Just missing. 3-2.
There's a lot of ball clubs back in the East wishing they had dome stadiums today.
Someone said close to a foot of snow at Boston. And be ready for more. That was the warning. 3-2. To short. Should be an out. And it is. He hit it right at Ramirez. But here's Gary Templeton. Controversial shortstop. Could be one of the best shortstops around. All-round shortstop, left field. They got him from St. Louis. Ozzie Smith. The latest on Templeton was in the paper this morning. Says he doesn't want to talk to the reporters anymore. He's all talked out. Wouldn't be a broadcaster, could he? That's an easy out. He hit it right at Hubbard. We've played 1. There's no score from San Diego. 2 outs. Now we're going to have a little meeting.
Dick Williams brought a couple of the coaches from Montreal over here.
They're trying to settle him down. Dollar with a voted and 2 outs. That's the strike.
Well, if Rick could hit one right here, like he did about a week and a half ago against Phil Niekro in batting practice, that's to have himself a guy, isn't it?
Eichelberger would have a sore rib, though.
I asked Phil that after he came back from getting his x-rays. Of course, he had a pitching screen in front of Phil, so he never picked it up off the bat.
1, 2. No balls, 2 strikes on. With the bases loaded and 2 outs. The runners, Chambliss third, Benedict second, first. Way outside, 1 and 2. That's how Knucksie got hit with a screen. And you're through, and you're supposed to get your whole body behind the screen. But I got everything behind the screen. But his side was still hanging out, and that ball right around that pipe. Just missed it and hit him. Foul away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Braves batting top. Regular season televised. 117 to come your way station. Now the 1-2. We go to the bottom of the second. Well, earlier tonight we talked with Joe Torre about the Phil Niekro disabling, and we'd like to show it to you. Okay, Joe Torre, we haven't thrown a pitch in the regular season, and you've already put a setback because Phil Niekro is on the disabled list.
Well, it's tough when you lose your mainstay, you know, Ernie, but we just felt to protect Phil against himself, because knowing the kind of pride he has, that he's going to want to pitch possibly before he's well. So just for safety's sake, we feel we'd rather lose him now for maybe an extra 6 or 7 days and get him well, so for the rest of the season we have him.
How's Phil feel about it?
Phil didn't want to go on the disabled list, but this was like 2 weeks ago before he suffered a couple of setbacks with the ribs. I've talked to him the last 2 days, and he's uncomfortable not with being on the disabled list, but with his rib cage. And he understands that I have a job to do, and you know, in spite of reports that have come out in the local papers, there's been no heated discussion, and there's been no problem with Phil and I, because first of all, I don't think Phil's ever had a crossword for anybody.
That's why I wanted to talk to you about it. Okay, quickly, you're had a great.
Hitting fifth, the right fielder, number 14, Sixto.
Okay, we'll be talking to Joe a little bit more about the team. We wanted everyone to hear that because there's been some talk that there were hard feelings out there between Torre and Niekro, and there aren't. And I kind of favor what Joe has done and Phil's agreed to do, is go on that disabled list. We've got one down here in the bottom half of the second as Jones grounded to short. This is Liscano. Phil has always pitched hurt. And I think what Joe wants is to have him 100%, not have it drag on. Another thing, another plus, really, if one of the young pitchers comes through now during this period of time, it could be a help to the ball club, too. A guy like Joe Cowley, for instance.
Right. That just proves once again that sometimes you really can't believe what you read.
Apple, what you hear? Liscano was obtained from St. Louis for Gura. Last year with the Cardinals, he batted .266. 3 balls and no strikes. And be followed by Terry Kennedy, all 6'4", 220 of him. 3-1.
I wonder if the Padres decided to move the fences in after they acquired Sixto, because when he went to the Cardinals ballpark is as big as this ballpark used to be. When he had that good year in Milwaukee, the fences were as short as they are now here.
Ball inside. Just missed at the walk. Now Terry Kennedy. Kennedy batted .301 last year. They want him to hit more homers. He hit 2 last year.
He hit more than that this year. Hit 3.
Ball low. He's followed by Salazar. Liscano's at first. Kennedy, National League All-Star player last year. Montreal, Pittsburgh postponed. Cold, snow. I mentioned Dodgers beat the Giants 4-3 this afternoon on a run in the bottom of the ninth at Los Angeles. 1 ball, 1 strike. Forster got the win in relief. Gary Lavelle was a loser for the Giants today. Mailer trying to keep him close.
Sixto did not steal a base for the Cardinals last year.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Rick Mailer, who can pitch in any part of the ball game for you. Curveball, nice play, Benedict. Mailer can come on in relief, whether it be short or long. He can start. He's a very valuable guy to have on your staff. Some people can't do that. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If he had his brothers, though, I imagine he'd want to be doing what he is right now, starting every 4th day.
Get a little time to rest in between. Yep. Go fishing, golfing. Curveball in there. Kennedy looks at a slow curve for a strikeout. The second by Mailer tonight. Now Salazar, third baseman of the San Diego Padres, hit .303 last season.
Number 4, Luis Salazar.
Outfield shades him to right. He hits to right. In for a hit. Watch this at third. He's going to be safe. For a moment, it looked like he had a shot at him. The throw took Horner off the bag. We'll give Salazar a single. Second on the throw. Liscano around the third.
Washington shows his strong arm here. I believe it would, if it would have been on the mark, he might have gotten him out. And right here, Horner just keeping in mind right here, not let the ball get by him. And a little short hop throw there. Heads up base running too by Salazar, going to second base on that throw.
Wrong throw by Washington. If it's on the bag, he's out. Now Perkins, who's dropped to the 8th spot, he might be the best 8-hitter in the league. He led the National League in hitting for a period last year. Well, San Diego's got a chance now with 2 outs. The Braves had 2 outs and the bases loaded, couldn't score. They're going to put him on and pitch to Eichelberger. And I'd do the same thing, and so would you. This will be an intentional pass. While they walk in, we want to remind our fans that from 5:30 to 7:30, the Colony Square Hotel, Veranda Lounge. If you look at the Braves bench, Thursday night, April 8th, an opportunity for the fans to come out and talk personally with some of the players on the eve before the home opener. That is April 8th, Colony Square Hotel, 5:30 to 7:30. And the opener is Friday night. Boy, I can't wait. Same situation. Bases Mailer. Eichelberger, the pitcher, bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch. Hit. Oh, he just missed a double. Oh, man. Eichelberger almost cleaned him. That ball was fouled by inches.
He hits this ball hard, too. Chambliss way off the line, would have had no chance whatsoever, and Salazar has pretty decent speed. That was 3 RBIs right there, I believe, if that ball's fair.
Boy, good foul. Great camera work, guys. Foul by inches. As Darrell mentioned, it would have cleaned him because it would have been way down in that right field corner. And with 2 outs, no one cares about looking around. They're heading for home. Well, let's see what he does with a slow curve. 0-1. Fastball. But I'm not hitting 0-2. He's got to hit a curveball here.
So Benedict should put 2 fingers down right here, right?
I love the manage up here.
What do you want, a slow curve or a hard curve?
Any kind of a curve. 0-2. Preferably one in the dirt. With the fastball outside, that was almost in the dirt.
Got to be setting him up right there.
Okay. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the 2nd. No score. Now the 1-2. Curve. Missed outside. 2-2. Joe grounded out to start the inning. Lascano walked. Kennedy struck out, but then Salazar singled and Perkins intentionally passed. And a 2-2 pitch. Bounce to Perkins. Chambliss, great play. Gets it himself. Oh, man. Chambliss on a great play saved everybody. That was another fastball. Look at Chambliss. And he races to the bag, and we played 2, and there's still no score. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. I'm glad you did say hi, Ernie, or hi, Darrell. She said hi, Mom.
We have some folks here from Superstation filming a special the Braves are going to run inside baseball. A 4-part, I think it's 4-part series, isn't it?
That's right.
Going to air after the season. Should be interesting.
No inside for Mailer. Richards a batter, struck out first time up. Juan Bonilla to follow. 2 balls and no strikes. We're in the bottom of the 3rd, no score. We're just zipping along here. Rather chilly in San Diego. Bouncer wide of first, Hubbard. 1 down. Now Juan Bonilla. Something's happening around here.
There he is, yes. The chicken.
How about that? This is where he was hatched. It's good that he came back.
Yes, sir.
I saw his schedule. He makes about 20 to 25 appearances a month. Goes to a lot of the minor league cities today. Whereas before he used to go just to the major leagues, he now goes to minor league ball clubs, and we've had him in our farm system. Bonilla with the 0-1. Pop foul on a play. Juan Bonilla grounded out first time up. I think the funniest story about the chicken happened up at Richmond. Pete was telling me about it. Fouled away. During one of the exhibition games up there, I wasn't there, that particular exhibition game, but they brought on the chicken. And while he was signing some autographs, they said, okay, now got the lucky tickets. Here's a drawing for the lucky tickets. You'll get some fried chicken. And he took off and ran right through center field, up over the wall, and just got lost. And it was just all ad-lib. It wasn't part of it. Good fastball outside. 1-2.
He came to Atlanta for one of the Phil Negro roasts, and he got up to speak, and he said, you know, as chickens, we frown on roasts.
Yeah. The 1-2. Fly ball left. Murphy's going to have to hurry. I believe he caught it, and he did. What a catch by Dale Murphy in left.
A lot of people in the Braves front office, and I think a lot of folks in baseball have the feeling that the Braves have one of the best defensive outfields in the league. And you're taking an all-star center fielder here, moving into left field to make room for a guy like Brett Butler. Murphy shows his ability to play left field as well as he played center field with a fine catch there.
Now Gary Templeton grounded out last time up. Right call. This guy can really play. Another angle on the catch.
Notice he's keeping his eye on this ball all the way. Doesn't take his eye off it for 1 second.
Slow curve, 0-2. Templeton, if he gets his act together, could be one of the best. 1 year, he had 211 hits. A switch hitter hit 111 lefty and 100 righty. First switch hitter ever to do that. But Mailer handles him this time, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. We played 3, and still the same, no score. See the chicken and the favorite umpire, Eric Gregg, getting together. The picture taking.
Leading off the Padres, the center fielder, number 22.
Watch it.
I guess he didn't like the picture he took, huh?
This is Rupert Jones leading off the bottom of the 4th. He's on scoreless. Each team with a hit. Real old-fashioned pitcher duel. Fouled away. 0-1. Moscato on pitch tomorrow. 3rd off. Noon game tomorrow. 4-4 television. Thursday off. Friday. Home against Houston, the bar opener. Houston in Friday night. Sunday afternoon. Look at that slow curve. Boy, that's a beauty. Like a yo-yo. He just pulls the string. That thing goes up there and goes down. Beautiful slow curve by Mitt. The 0-2. There it is again. Bounce foul. You get a left-hander to swing at your curve. Miss it. You've got it. Crowd looks like it might be 25,000. Lascano and Kennedy against Mailer here at the bottom of the 4th. Curveball. Got him. Rick Mailer's pitched himself a good ball game. That's his 4th strikeout.
The right fielder, 14.
Lascano. Lascano walked the first time up. Fastball missing. Having a new year, we look at the of a chance to set records. Rose, everyone knows Pistol Pete, needs 74 hits to tie Hank Aaron. 2007-71 for second time in hit. Todd leads, of course, with 491. He's in the mid-leagues. Nolan Ryan probably didn't get many strikeouts tonight. He needs 206 strikeouts to tie Walter Johnson for first place at 3,508. Gaylord Perry needs 272. Pitch is high. And Jim Cott going to start a record-making 24th year pitching, age 43, pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals. Just some of the things happening this year as we start another year. Well hit. Perfect. Got it. Nice catch. That's the best hit ball of the game. Hardest hit outside of Chambliss's. That is the hardest hit for San Diego. And Murphy got turned around, but the big guy made the catch.
That ball is hit right on the line. You're right. That is the hardest ball hit. Maybe Chambliss's will hit that hard to double to center field. Murph might have had to contend with the lights. A lot of guys lose balls in the lights here in left field.
Here's Kennedy. Only been 2 hits in a game, a double by Chambliss and a single by Salazar. Mailer works low.
Well, you talk about Gaylord, of course, needs 3 for his 300. Got a little contest going in Seattle.
Okay.
The Mariners, team-wise, historically have a combined total, I think, of 290 wins, and they're having a bet to see who gets the 300 first. That's the Mariners or Gaylord.
High pop, left side foul, I believe. Ramirez may have a play. He overran it. Ramirez overran the pop-up. Horner was down there, too. Murphy didn't have a play on it. Now watch Horner look for Ramirez, and Rafael just overran it.
Rafael over-hustled. What he did towards the end of his jog there, he looked down to see where he was. When he looked back up, the ball behind him. He took his eye off the ball.
Gary Kennedy, son of Bob Kennedy, who's a Major League player. Gary played at Florida State. Let's see if that hurts. The fact that that ball couldn't be caught. It's 2-2. And the 2-2, slow curve. He got him a strikeout. No problems. That's number 5 for Rick Mailer. He's retired now. We played 4. No score from San Diego. Go top of the 5th. Rick Mailer leads it off, and here's Darrell.
Thanks, Ernie. Mailer, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. Struck out with the bases loaded. He'll be followed by Butler and Hubbard, top of the order. No score. Eichelberger continues to show signs of wildness. 2 balls, no strikes. He's walked 4, struck out 3. More transactions took place today. I can dig them out of here. 2-0 pitches over. California released Freddie Patek, 37 years old now, been around the game a long time. That's fouled away down the right field side. The Padres have also, in that shot right there, they've added 2 more sections of stands down each foul line here. Kind of put a cramp on their bullpen style. The pitching rubbers are almost touching each other down the bullpen. The 2-2 makes it high, full count. There you see that bullpen shot. The last 2 sections have just been added. The pitching rubbers, I don't know if 2 guys can work together or not. They're so close. Mailer fouls it away. The count stays 3-2. There you see those pitching rubbers right there. I imagine you could squeeze 2 guys in there, but the home plates down at the other end are much, much farther apart.
Be a tangle of arms if one of the pitchers was a righty and the other a lefty.
Wouldn't it? Fly ball right field. Right at left count. Had him played perfectly. There's no doubt that Butler has the ability to steal bases, and he has the speed. I think the coaching staff is trying to smarten him up a little bit on the base pass. There he goes. Hubbard swings, drive, left center field. It's going to be in there. At least 2 bases. Here comes Butler. He's going to score. Hubbard stopped at second base. A double RBI. Braves lead 1-0. Salazar leads off the bottom of the 5th, followed by Perkins and Eichelberger. Pete Van Weert and Darrell Cheney with you now on Superstation. Mailer's first pitch, low and outside, ball 1. There we are, right there.
Just trying to get my earpiece in there.
Pete getting ready. The 1-0 for Mailer. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Ever try to put a left earpiece into your right ear? Hurts.
There's the chicken. Get the fans going here. Fly ball down the right side, out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Salazar hit .303 for the Padres last year. That was 13th in the league. Had 19 doubles. He stole 11 bases. He's got some speed. Fastball. Snuck it by him. 2-2. A lot of folks will say that Mailer's out pitch is that curveball. And you get the hitters looking for that slow breaking ball. Makes that fastball all harder. And he got that one by Salazar. 2-2 the count. Bottom of the 5th. There's that slow curve. 2 hopper to Ramirez. Scored 6-3, and there's one down. Roderick Perkins was walked in by Mailer back in the second inning.
Thing last year, I bet he'll never do again. Remember back in May when he was leading the league in hitting about 340? Had been in the league for about a week. He predicted to one of the San Diego writers here that he would hit 400 before the season was over. Of course, that got in print, and his average went the other way. He finished at 280.
Another two-hopper to Ramirez. Ditto. Mailer's got that ground ball working. So quickly, two down here in the bottom of the fifth. And here's Juan Eichelberger. Retired on a great play by Chris Chambliss with the bases loaded back in the second inning. The only inning that the Padres have had base runners. They stranded 3 that inning. Mailer shows a lot of poise. Second hitter man. Fastball over 1-1.
He's really cooking right now. He's retired 9 straight. Really in command.
He's calling the pitches, too. Chopper right out in front. Mailer bounces off the mound. Go get out. That's 10 in a row. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Mailer. And at the end of the there's the icy defense is backing it up.
That could be a little dangerous. They may have to do something about that before the year's over. That's how Brian Asselstein got hurt.
Yes, sir. Brian caught his cleats in that cyclone part there. You can see the cleat marks in that corner laying down there. That's a foul tip at the plate. 1-1 the count. Check that. It's 0-2. The ball's 2 strikes, 2 down. Maris on third base with a triple. The third Braves hit. Fouled away right side. Fans got to be on their toes on that one. Mailer likes to swing the bat. Well, all pitchers do, I suppose.
Does that include Rick Camp?
He likes to. Rick just doesn't get to talk about it as much as most pitchers. 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Call strike 3. Mailer do it. Slow curveball.
It's on top 1-0. Rick Mailer's retired the last 10 minutes faced. That'll be out of play to count 0-1. Well, that early pitching staff getting ripped tonight. They're in the bottom of the 9th at the Astrodome. St. Louis 14, Houston 3. And the Minnesota Twins debuted in Metrodome. And the Twin Cities was a flop. Seattle beat them 11-7. Here's the 1-strike pitch. 1-1. 1 run, just 3 hits for Atlanta. No runs, just 1 hit for San Diego. Half inning 6. The opening game of the year. Tomorrow afternoon, 4:05 Eastern Time. We'll wrap up this series. Bob Holt facing John Montefusco. That is the home opener Friday night against Houston. 2-1 now. The count of Gene Richards. Bonilla will follow, and then Gary Templeton. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Chambliss handles this one. Mayer covers, 1 down.
Stay informed with the latest national and international news on TBS Evening News tonight. Following Braves baseball on Superstation WTBS, cable's most popular network.
11 straight retired now by Rick Mailer. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. There's Juan Bonilla. He's 0 for 2. He is grounded out to short, and he's fly to left. Dodgers winners today. They beat the Giants 4-3. Just about everything else wiped out by snow and cold weather in the Northeast. That's going to be foul. The count 0-1 on Bonilla.
Well, Bonilla really has a funny swing. It's a free swing. He makes a lot of contact. He had a big loop in it as he comes from his stride. And he sprays the ball all over the place with that kind of a swing.
Most hitters who have a swing like that, hitting instructors start working with him almost immediately to try to get that loop out of there. But you look at what Bonilla's hit in his career. 291, 273, 303 in the minors, then 290 with San Diego last year. Albert handles this one. And that's 12 straight set down by Rick Mailer. 2 men out here in the bottom half of the 6th. It'll bring up Gary Templeton. Templeton 0 for 2. He's bounced out to second, and he has struck out. Kind of a new role for Templeton this year, batting in the number 3 spot. But there's not a whole lot of power on this San Diego club. pitch on the way. And it misses low, ball one.
You know, Templeton has averaged 47 RBIs a year throughout his career, and that's mostly hitting in the first and second slot, so they're trying to bring out more of that RBI potential.
Left field, Dale Murphy has it. Another 1-2-3 inning for Rick Mailer. 13 straight retired now by Mailer. At the end of 6, it's Atlanta 1, San Diego nothing. Rupert Jones leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Padres. The count 0-1. 0 for 2. He's bounced down to the shortstop, and he struck out. California's taken a 1-0 lead over Oakland. That game in the bottom in Oakland. Here's the 1-strike pitch. All the way back to the screen, 1-1. Mailer has not allowed a base runner since the 2nd. 13 straight he set down, working on a 1-hit shutout. There's the 1-1 pitch. Good pitch, caught the inside corner.
Well, he's doing a good job of moving the ball in and out, changing speeds.
What makes that off-speed pitch of his so effective is his delivery. His motion is just outstanding on that changeup. 1-2 on Rupert Jones. His delivery right back to the mound. Mailer knocks it down. And there's 14 straight. Retired by the Braves right-hander. Darrell, you were mentioning something between the inning halves here about how important it is that Rick Mailer shut him out again this inning.
I think it's very important. Anytime an inning is ended as a previous half inning with that fine double play turned by Salazar and Bonilla, that gives a team an offensive lift coming back into their dugout. And if you shut them down, that'll cool their thoughts down a little bit. And then you go into another inning with no more run board. So I believe it really is important.
Here's Lescano, who's walked and flying to left. Takes a pitch low, ball one. Jerry Royster keep it in shape. We had a frisbee or a paper plate or something of that nature thrown down in the field. Dispatched by Paul Runge. A ball and no strikes to Lescano. 1-0 Atlanta. Bottom half of inning 7. There's the 1-0. There's that curve missing low. 2-0. Final from Houston. Cubs beat the Astros 14-3. Darrell Porter a home run for St. Louis. Alan Ashby and Art Howe hit home runs for Houston. Oh, got it. 2 down. Braves have been sharp defensively tonight. 2 big catches by Dale Murphy to left. A great play by Chris Chalmers at first. And now Horner handling a hot shot off the bat of Lescano. 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Terry Kennedy the batter. Kennedy over, struck out both times. Once looking, once swinging. Did you see how far out in front of that pitch Kennedy was?
I think Mailer has him battled.
That's what I meant by that motion. Mailer really has a lot of hitters fooled. 1-1. Braves home to open the home season Friday night against the Houston Astros. It'll be Don Sutton for Houston, Tommy Boggs for Atlanta. Tickets available at the stadium at all seats outlets. You can call 577-9100 to order yours. There's the 2-1. Off the inside corner, 2-2. Mailer has walked only 2 in the game, one of those intentional. He struck out 5. 3-2. The only hit for Sandy's inning single by Luis Salazar. There's the 3-2 offering. Fly ball, left field, well hit. Murphy back on the warning track. He's got it. The inning's over. The 5th straight 1-2-3 inning for Rick Mailer. 16 hitters in a row have been retired by the Braves right-hander. There is. And an error on the throw by Bonilla. So a good start to the Atlanta ninth. Runner down at second base, nobody out. And here's the pitcher, Rick Mailer. At the plate tonight, Rick 0 for 3, 2 from the flyout. San Diego expecting a bunt from the Braves pitcher. Eric Shaw delivers. Mailer. It's at 0-1. One more run would be very big for Atlanta here. A 1-run lead is so much different than a 2-run lead. The run is popped foul and it'll drop on play. Let's check the count. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top half of the 9th inning. Shaw, the third pitcher to work tonight for San Diego. Eichelberger started, followed by De Leon. Now let's check it again. The count was right the first time. 0-2, and there's strike 3 called. Shaw records his first strikeout. That's the 6th strikeout of the game for San Diego pitching, out number 1 here in the 9th inning. And we go back to the top of the order now. Brett Butler.
22.
Butler 0 for 2, but he has done his job as far as getting on base goes. He has walked twice in the game, came around to score the Atlanta run. Joe Torre very pleased with Brett Butler's discipline at the plate. Many times young hitters don't have discipline. But Butler, in his role as leadoff hitter, needs to get on base. Besides being a good hitter, he also has a very good eye. He walked 103 times at Richmond last year, 19 more times in Atlanta. He makes you throw him strikes. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Ramirez down at second, 1 man out. Braves have stranded 9 men in the game. They would like a little more run production out of all these base runners tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's down the third base side. What a play by Salazar. I'll tell you what, we have seen some defense tonight from both these teams. Salazar playing in close at third, respecting Butler's speed. Speared that between him and the bag. Throws out Butler for out number 2. Ramirez holding at second. And the batter will be Hubbard. Hubbard has struck out, walked, doubled, and sacrificed. 1 for 2. His driven run. And a 2-out base hit here could drive another one. Shaw delivers. A breaking ball. 1 to count. California Oakland tied up now 2-2. That game in the top half of the 7th inning in Oakland. That's Dan Boone, the left-hander. Floyd Schiffer is the right-hander. He's a rookie up from Hawaii. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Then he pops it up, foul territory, first base side. Looks like there'll be room for Broderick Perkins. Bottom half of the 9th inning, Juan Bonilla went after the first pitch, hit a ground ball to the shortstop, Rafael Ramirez, who throws on to first in time to retire Bonilla. 1 out, 2 outs to go. Every televised game will be selecting a Toyota Braves play game. I don't think there's much doubt about who wins that award tonight, regardless of what happens the rest of this inning. There's your winner, Rick Mailer, the Toyota Braves player of the game. And here's Gary Templeton. Fouled away, the count 0-1. Rick Mailer has hurled 1 hit shutout ball into the 9th inning here. Templeton is grounded out, struck out, flied out. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Little chopper right back to the mound. Out number 2. Rick Mailer 1 out away from an opening night shutout of San Diego. And it's a tough out, Rupert Jones. Jones is grounded to short, struck out and bounced to the pitcher. The only hit for the Padres, a single back in the 2nd inning by Luis Salazar. 2 outs, 9th inning. Mailer delivers. The off-speed breaking ball missed outside. Braves have Roboski and Club again in the bullpen, just in case 9th inning trouble starts. Here's the 1-0. Over but low, ball 2, 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0. 3-0 pitch on the way to Jones. Right down the middle for a called strike. Jones taking all the way. It's 3-1. Mailer's been going a little more to his fastball in these latter innings. That's Bob Gibson influence, I think. 3-1 pitch is fouled away. Count 3-2. One of the things that Bob Gibson has worked with these pitchers on all spring is trying to get them to use their fastball a little more frequently. There's the payoff pitch to Jones. Little liner to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit, maybe more than one. Jones around first, heading for second. Murphy up with the ball, bobbles it. Jones takes the turn at second. He'll hold there with a double. It's not over yet. Jones had hit 34 doubles last year, the 2nd high total in the National League to Bill Buckner, who had 35. Just looped that one over the infield. Murph bobbling it out there, but he wouldn't have gotten Jones at second anyway, I don't think. Sixto Lescano will be the batter in a Summit Conference at the mound. Braves skipper Joe Torre calls the whole infield in. The pitchers in the bullpen. Rick Camp, a right-hander. Al Raboski, a left-hander. He's sticking with Rick Mailer.
Now hitting for the Padres.
And Sixto Lezcano will be the batter.
Sixto Lezcano.
That double by Jones, only the second hit of the night for San Diego. Lezcano 0 for 2 in the game. He has walked flying to left and hit a shot to third baseman Bob Warner his last time up. A runner at second represents the potential tying run. 2 men out, bottom half of the 9th inning. Time call as Lezcano steps out. St. Louis a winner tonight, 14-3 over Houston. Dodgers beat the Giants 4-3. That's a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. All the other games in the National League postponed because of cold weather and snow in the Northeast. American League, Seattle beat Minnesota 11-7. California, Oakland tied up 2-2 there in the 7th inning. Everything else in that league snowed out. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sixto Lezcano. Braves lead it 1-0. 1 out to go here in the 9th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lezcano. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Benedict. 2-1. Terry Kennedy, the on-deck hitter. Watch this work by Bruce Benedict behind the plate. It's a curve. Kicked off his glove, but he got the body to prevent it from going back to the screen and letting that runner move up. Rube Walker down, Max Ford, Bob Gibson, and Joe Torre in the Braves dugout. Two and 1 on Lezcano. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Just off the plate, 3-1. Down at second, Jones gets his lead. The 3-1 pitch coming. Strike 2 call. Give him a fastball. Caught the outside corner at the knees. And the count is full, 3-2. There's the lead by Jones and the signs by Benedict. And here comes the 3-2 pitch to Lezcano. Ball game's over. Rick Mailer hurls a 2-hit shutout, and the Braves are 1-0 opening night winners. And what a thrill it's got to be for Rick Mailer. No team drafted that young man. He signed as a free agent, worked his way up the minor league ladder, and he'll never forget April 6, 1982. In his first opening night assignment in the major leagues, Rick Mailer hurls a 2-hit shutout. Final score, Braves 1, Padres 0. Back with the totals right after this. The Padres made 1 error, and they left 5 men on. Rick Mailer all the way, not only a shutout in opening night, but his first shutout in the major leagues tonight. He gets the win. The losing pitcher, Juan Eichelberger, he is 0-1. So the Braves off to a good start this 1982 season. Glenn Hubbard's run-scoring double was all the Braves needed. That and Rick Mailer's pitching and some fine defense. A little bit of everything tonight. Braves 1-0 winners over San Diego. Coming up next, Darrell Cheney will compete with these fireworks as he interviews tonight's star, Rick Mailer.
We are back down here on the field, and we are going to compete with all these fireworks here, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm glad I didn't have to compete against this guy tonight. Rick Mailer, opening night, complete game, a 2-hitter, a shutout, just a beautiful ball game. Rick, you got to be pretty happy.
I'm ecstatic. I can't tell you how good it feels. It's a great, it's just a great win here for the team. These guys were making plays all over the place. They made it easy for me. All I had to do was throw strikes, and they were diving for balls and catching them off the wall and everything.
A lot of folks were concerned about the Braves' defense, and of course, pitching was kind of subject coming in this ball game, and you got to start in place of Phil Niekro. Tonight, you seem to keep the hitters really off balance, and going out of spring training, you had an ERA of a little over 5, gave up 21 hits in 6 innings. Were you a little concerned starting the season out after coming off of a spring like that?
Well, not really. I just went out and I really tried to work a lot on my fastball, breaking balls, and in spring training, and sure it matters in spring training. I was trying to get everybody out, but this is where it counts, and today I really had everything. I had all my stuff working and throwing strikes, and the guys, like I said, they were making great plays.
About the 7th inning, you ran into a little trouble, and Bob Gibson came out and talked to you. The bullpen wasn't active at all. Of course, being in the situations Bob was in with a 1-run lead after 7 innings, he wanted that ball to win the baseball game. What does a guy like Bob Gibson tell a guy like Rick Mailer from his experiences when he came out there in the 7th inning?
He says that you got to want it. You got to go out and get it and go after these guys, and that's what I tried to do, just take it home.
That brings up one more question. You're more or less a finesse pitcher. You got one of the best breaking balls in baseball right now. You keep hitters off stride. A pitching coach like Bob Gibson's a power pitcher in the past. Does his philosophy kind of change your thinking out there? Does he want you to be more of a power pitcher than a breaking ball pitcher?
Well, he wants you to go after the hitters, and any way that you go after him, he wants you to stay ahead of them, and if you have to throw the fastball to get ahead, throw the fastball, throw whatever you can get ahead, and he just believes in going right after the hitters and not giving in to them.
I made a statement before the ball game started on the pregame that realistically, for us to really stay in the pennant race, we've got to get from you and people like you and a Bob Walk and a Steve Bedrosian and Tommy Boggs 12 or 15 wins out of a couple of you guys. That doesn't seem too far off for you, does it?
I don't think so. I think you're going to see it. I think that Bob Walk's ready to have a big year, and I think Tommy Boggs is going to come back and have a big year. Bedrosian's a good pitcher. I think that our staff's going to be okay.
Well, I tell you, you started off in real good shape with a two-hitter, a 1-0 shutout. You got the Braves rolling. Rick, congratulations, and keep up the good work.
Thanks a lot. It feels great.
Rick Mailer's been our guest, and we'll be back with a few more final comments right after this. And for being my guest in the post-game show, Rick Mailer is going to receive a bomb. No, Mr. Thin from Panasonic. Once again, final score. Braves win at 1-0. A two-hitter for Rick Mailer. Will be on the air at 4:05 Eastern tomorrow afternoon as John Monofusco goes against Bob Walk. Braves win at 1-0. So for Pete Van Weert and Ernie Johnson, this is Darrell Cheney. Take care, everyone.
Jones getting his lead down at second. The look in by Rick Mailer. The right-hander stretches, and the 3-2 on the way to Lescano. Strike three swinging, and the Braves have their first season-opening victory since 1972.
It's great. It's good that we can jump off and win this one.